I want to say one thing. Dame Anna Wintour is a colonial broad. She's a colonial dame. She comes from British. She's part of an environment of colonialism.
You don't color with just one color in a crayon box, because if you do, that means your picture is pretty boring. You know.
Alright, Rockstars, before we jump into this video, I want to make sure you click the little black unicorn in the lower right hand corner to make sure that you subscribe. I mean, you might as well. I mean, it's free. It's not going to hurt you. I'm dope, you dope, we could be dope together. Probably been through some of my old videos, so don't you want to see that growth? So I'll wait. Thank you. We can get into this. So recently Anna Wintour just had an email leak where she was apologizing for the lack of diversity in American Vogue, and a lot of people are giving her a side eye for this, especially because of the timing. This topic interests me because I'm somebody who worked in the luxury fashion industry for over a decade, and I've always wanted to see more diversity in the fashion industry, especially more black people, because I know how much we have contributed to fashion. A lot of us will spend the coins on the big fashion brands just to look fly. It's natural. Most of us are just born with an innate sense of style. We know colors, textures, patterns, how it goes together. Like, there have been times where a magazine will hire a white model and give her dark skin. Why not just hire a black model or model of color? Like, I also told Anna Wintour in a video 11 years ago that she lost when it came to representing the black demographic. Here's a clip from that video titled Black Vogue.
Took a chance. He presented it to American Vogue and they turned it down. I heard. Anna Wintour, I love you, never want to challenge you, but you lost on this one, baby. Stephen Meisel, you did your thing.
I mean, the caucasity of it all. It was about the Italian all-black Vogue issue, which was pioneered by the editor-in-chief at the time, Franca Sazzoni, which I'm hoping I'm not butchering her name. May she rest in peace. That magazine will go down in history. I believe it was released in the summer of 2008. Definitely it was released in 2008. I believe it was the summer, and you couldn't find it anywhere. It sold out immediately. People had to like literally hunt everywhere or began to pay hundreds of dollars to get their hands on a copy. And if that doesn't show you the demand that black people can sell like magazines, I don't know what would. I just say that to say it's not like she didn't know black people could sell magazines. There had actually been proof through Italian Vogue that there was a need for this kind of representation. And she made the decision to overlook it after Stephen Klein brought it to her the first time. So you guys do your history on the Black Vogue issue. If you want, I'm going to include the link to my original video, Black Vogue, that I shot, like I said, in 2008. I'll put the link to that video at the end of this video. Something I'm really proud of is that particular video was featured in Franca's documentary titled Franca From Chaos to Creation, and I was tucked in alongside, you know, André Leon Talley, Naomi Campbell, Karl Lagerfeld, right where I belong. YouTubers were included in that documentary, which I was really excited about. Another thing I'm really excited about is that the documentary can be found on Netflix. So it's like I'm kind of immortalized digitally on Netflix, and I have my credit. So it's there go my name, London Bambi. My credit, my Netflix credit. I'm proud of that. Still surreal, me being a black gay boy growing up on the west side of Chicago. You know, when I was a kid, fashion was just my dream. Never did I think I was going to be in a documentary, you know, tucked in or grouped in with Karl Lagerfeld, which, you know, was my fave, André Leon Talley, who I respect, and Naomi Campbell. So it was a huge deal. And when I see my credit roll, because sometimes I do go on Netflix to just make sure it's real, it's like a pinch yourself moment, I'm really proud. That's my show, dog. I've been putting in the work. And to be honest, I'm not sure if she ever even seen the video, but what matters is Franca did. Could have had a bad bitch. No. Now, I left it alone and didn't want to press it too hard because at the time I assumed she was best friends with one of the fashion saints, and that saint being André Leon Talley, who as you can see, I really, really respect. So I'm like, okay, Andre must be her best friend. He has a head seat at the table. I'm pretty sure he's calling some of the shots. I know he's working on her, and he's going to, influence her in that direction and say, girl, all right, we lost on this one, but what can we do to make it better? Andre Leon Talley just released a book. It's titled The Chiffon Trenches. And I haven't read the whole book yet. I plan on reading it once I get times, but I have read bits and pieces, and now I know better. That girl wasn't his best friend. I mean, every time I was online looking at pictures, they were always booed up at fashion shows, hand in hand. Child, I just knew they had an unbreakable love for each other. But they are not best friends, honey. But you have to get his book to read it and get all of the details, so I'm not going to spoil that for you. Now, without further ado, here's the email that was leaked, that was originally obtained by Page 6.
I want to start by acknowledging your feelings and expressing my empathy towards what so many of you are going through, sadness, hurt, and anger too. I want to say this especially to the black members of our team. I can only imagine what these days have been like. But I also know that the hurt, and violence, and injustice we're seeing and talking about have been around for a long time. Recognizing it and doing something about it is overdue. I want to say plainly that I know Vogue has not found enough ways to elevate and give space to black editors, writers, photographers, designers and other creators. We have made mistakes too, publishing images or stories that have been hurtful or intolerant. I take full responsibility for those mistakes. It can't be easy to be a black employee at Vogue, and there are too few of you. I know that it is not enough to say we will do better, but we will, and please know that I value your voices and responses as we move forward. I am listening and would like to hear your feedback and your advice if you would like to share either. I am proud of the content we have published on our site over these past few days, but I also know that there is much more work to do. Please don't hesitate to be in touch with me directly. I am arranging ways we can discuss these issues together candidly, but in the meantime, I welcome your thoughts or reactions.
I hope you guys are still with me because this is where it gets good. So after Andre Leon Talley got a hold of this leaked email, Chalet, he went on Sirius XM Radio Andy and went in for the drag. I'm going to let him say it in his own words. So here you go.
And I don't know if you're aware of it, Miss Bernard, that recently, she who is the dame of American Vogue made a statement.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes, I know about that, my darling.
And that statement...
Sarah read that to me this morning, and it was also set against the backdrop of everything from your book. So the revolution has begun within the confines of the limited fashion sensibility. You have blown it wide open. Continue, please.
Thank you, Madam Bernard. I want to say also, as she made this statement, the announcement of the first African-American, black female editor at Harper's Bazaar, Samira.
Yes.
That is news groundbreaking. This has impacted her. Clearly, that statement comes because this girl is going to run competition rings around her. Her power base has been somewhat affected by the competition of this young African-American presence. Is going to be historically the first black female editor of a great magazine. There are only two great magazines, Harper's Bazaar and Vogue.
Yep.
Now you go figure.
Yep.
I want to say that statement that she made, the world of white privilege is complicated. The world of white privilege. The statement came out of the space of white privilege. I want to say one thing. Dame Anna Wintour is a colonial broad. She's a colonial dame. She comes from British. She's part of an environment of colonialism. She is entitled, and I do not think she will ever let anything get in the way of her white privilege. That announcement to me was like the man who made the announcement for the NFL. What's his name? The man who got up and apologized for the NFL.
Yes, yes. I know who you mean. The head of the NFL.
The head of the NFL.
Yeah, Roger Goodell. Roger Goodell.
He did not name Colin Kaepernick. He did not name Colin Kaepernick. And as Reverend Al Sharpton said yesterday in his eulogy for Mr. Floyd, don't apologize. Give him back his job. Give Colin back his job. Do not apologize if necessary.
And the 4 years of you took away.
No apology. No apology is necessary. Give people back their jobs and name them. Right. If you're going to make a statement, name what your mistakes were. Own up to it, dear.
Thank you.
No apologies is necessary. Just all we want is respect. That's all I ever asked for. In my book, I said, just the decency to tell me, Andre, we're moving on to the right. You on the left. Bye-bye. We'll find something else to do. It's been a good day, a good run. All I'm asking for is human decency and kindness.
I mean, he called her a colonial bra. Chalet. When I tell you wig was snatched, colonial bra, that's been first. And today, that was a first for me. Gotta fix my wig. He almost snatched. On top of this, former Black employees are starting to come out with their own stories and their own experiences as to what happened when they worked at Vogue. One of their former employees tweeted this. Now, I will say someone up top must have heard all the noise, because I also found this tweet, which states that they are immediately making changes to the structure of the way they do business at Condé Nast, and they want to have these implemented by the end of the summer. Now, this story is still unfolding, and I am skeptical about the changes that they say they are going to implement. Although I really want to give them a chance. I hope I don't have to come back on here in a few months like, they lied, y'all. They lied. Look at the receipts. They lied.
It was all a lie. Guys, it was all a lie. She lied.
I say this, I think it's time for us Black people to start creating our own. If we feel that we don't see representations in these big magazines, we need to create our own magazines or support the existing fashion magazines and support Black fashion designers. I've kind of grown out of, wanting to fit at someone else's table that wasn't built for me in the first place. That's why I started my own business, blackballoon70.com, if you haven't checked it out yet, to create my own table, and hopefully when money starts coming in, I can actually give opportunities to other artists so they can actually chase their own dreams. I'm no longer rattled by the lack of representation, because I know we can do something about it to create our own magic and create our own representation. It would be good if, that's a whole great idea to, be in Vogue. It's an established magazine that's been around, but as you can see, it's collapsing. Everything collapses if it's not built on solid foundation. And inclusivity is the solid foundation now. So if you're really hurt about this, or if you're really bothered by Anna's email, as if, when I was kind of mad when I found out Stephen Klein years ago approached her with it, and it was a slap in the face. I think, it's the universe may be telling us something. Create your own. Build your own table. That way you don't have to fit at a table where you are not wanted, or where people feel like they have to tolerate you. It's enough of us. We're creative. We're fly. Hell, the fashion community wouldn't be able to stay afloat without us. I, among other people, have worked in this community for a long time, and let me tell you, it's the Black people that's giving out the flavor out there. We're going to follow this story. We're going to see if they make real changes. And until next video, I love you. Peace.